Hey guys, good evening. Thank you for sharing the Utopian Baseball Universe with me. Um, I wanted to thank everyone personally real quick tonight. If I'm getting any names wrong, I apologize. I haven't met about a third of you, but I wrote down everyone's names. I have some personal messages for some of you just general thank yous. For joining the Utopian Baseball Universe. This is in the first 40 names or so are people I know. It's just the way they're listed in the group. But first person I want to thank is Carson Mall. Carson might be the only human that texts me daily. Sometimes it's just to see how I'm doing. Sometimes it's just to ask me if I'm going to listen to prank calls tonight. So he's always checking on me, and I appreciate him. I love him. Thanks, Carson. Todd Kemper, one of my oldest friends. Todd and I, it's funny, we met, we were in a training room in 2003, and I think we were just sitting next to each other. And I think because we were both guys that looked like we liked burgers, we went to lunch together and started talking about music. And that's been one of the strongest relationships in my life the last 17 years. So thank you, Todd, for being a member. Marlene, thank you. You were not the most engaged in the group. If we had to rank all 66, you weren't number one, but thank you for joining. I know you did it to support me, and I thank you for that. Tommy Medro joined maybe a couple months ago, and he's been one of the top 2 or 3 most active members of the group as far as watching games, cheering me on. So I can't wait to meet you, Tommy. We're not that far away from each other, maybe 30 miles or so. So thank you, Tommy. Mitch Nellis has been the biggest supporter. So thank you, Mitch. We got family a championship, so boy, I didn't think I was gonna cry. Anyway, Greg Manowski, another huge supporter. I think Greg was again in the top 2 or 3 as far as supporting what I'm doing, and I've known Greg for 30 years, and I appreciate everything you've done, Greg. Thank you. James Tristan Redding. I met James probably same time I met Todd. James was 18 years old. He was I take it. He was like 22. I think he was a senior at UWM. He came into my office with a guitar. I said, "Bring a demo. We'll play it." It blew my office away, and we've been friends ever since. And I love you, James. Thank you. Jenny Rusak, my favorite TikToker. Jenny's from Denver and actually works closely with the Colorado Rockies with iHeart. And thank you for your support. You've only been a member for about a month, but thank you. Andrew Pfeffer, I've known you for 38 years, and so you're my oldest friend, and you the most frequent guest we've had. on the network, thank you. And everyone watch Bowling with the Pfeff on YouTube. Episode 2 is Thursday night. If you have any questions, I'll get you details. He's doing something awesome. He's actually interviewing a pro, I think, Thursday by the name of Dave Barris. So that's really cool. Kevin Mack, who has been a member for maybe a month or so. Thank you, Kevin. Phil Hallwick, one of my oldest friends. Thanks for your support throughout the years. Thanks for being a member. Dustin Blazer. Hope to see you soon, buddy. Love you. Mark Marinello. Brother in Mets. Hope to one day see a game with you at Citi Field. And Mark brought in a number of these people, so thank you, Mark, for your support. Nick Bromley, love you, buddy. Hope to see you soon. My sister Jill. My biggest cheerleader. Thank you. Meg Campoy. I met Meg playing Words with Friends maybe a year ago, and found out she was a baseball fan. Meg actually won a number of my books this summer in a trivia contest. Not a game or anything, but I threw out one trivia question and she answered it, and so Meg and I talk a lot. And thank you, Meg. Sorry, guys. I'm not sad. This is just there's a lot of good people here. Okay. Justin Pfeffer. I always love telling this story. I was in Justin's home when his mom went into labor with him, and his dad kicked me out of the house. And I know I joke about this, but I taught Justin Pfeffer how to swear when he was 2 years old. So I always love sharing that. I don't know why I did that. I was not a good kid, I guess. But anyway, I gotta get through this. Mark Brown, thank you, Mark. I'm not exactly sure how you found us, but thank you for joining. You've been very engaged, and I thank you for it. Julio Weber, the host of the Julio Weber Show. Had it not been for, I guess, this pandemic, we would have brought more content to you. Thanks, Julio. Jerry Grillo, Braves fan, brought you a championship today. My mom, who very patiently lets me stream these games for you, interrupting Judge Judy and friends once a day so I can bring you this content. Thanks, Mom. John Boyd. Let me just show everyone something here. John made this for me this summer, and pretty soon I'm going to order a football one because it's awesome, and I simulated about a dozen games of the Utopian Baseball Universe season using that, so thank you, John. Lance Hardy was actually one of the first members of the universe of people I didn't know. I think he was actually the first person that joined that I didn't know, so thank you, Lance. Chase Tannhauser. All right, great story about Chase. I've known Chase since he was like 8. Uh, Chase Chase's mom married a friend of mine, and I was the best man at that wedding. And my favorite story about Chase was in 2014, I moved into a duplex, and I needed help moving stuff. And I was like moving like boxes and kind of struggling. And Chase would just nonchalantly put like a couch on his shoulder and like just walk upstairs without like the help of a rail or anything. And he's always been very dependable. So thank you, Chase. I miss you, buddy. Nick Korth, one of my best friends. I actually had the pleasure of seeing my first postseason baseball game with Nick. When was that? 2011? I think it was game 1. I think against Arizona. But anyway, we had a great time. I've got pictures somewhere. Thank you, Nick. Tom Garrett's. Thanks, Tom, for joining the universe. Brian Conaway, one of my best friends. I'm playing him right now in fantasy. I'm winning, but he's going to beat me. I know it. I just know it. Thank you, Brian. Louis Ferrand. Met him in another group this summer. He was very quick to join, and he has one of the custom cards that I'll be releasing very soon. Thank you, Louis. I can't really read my writing very well. VJ Thacker. I've known VJ since like age 6. We played t-ball together, and then when we grew up, he'd sometimes visit me at my office, and we'd talk for like an hour. I'd have people waiting for me, and I'd say, I don't care, I want to talk to VJ. So thank you, VJ, for your support. Sebastian Caravella. So this is a funny, I love telling this story too, and I don't know if Sebastian is going to even see this or if he remembers this, but I used to be a farmer's insurance business owner. I owned a agency, and Sebastian was also an agent owner and one of the most successful. And we have these sales contests, and one of the leaders or whatever was like gathering prizes or whatever, and one of the prizes was Milwaukee Wave tickets, and one of the younger agents didn't know what the Milwaukee Wave was, and Sebastian, with one of the greatest lines ever, said, "Oh, the Milwaukee Wave, they're like the Yankees of who gives a shit." So that was funny, and actually really pissed off the guy giving away the tickets. So Sebastian, I miss you. Thanks for joining. Alan Joyner, went to school with Alan. Actually worked with his brother Andre for years at First Star, and his mom actually was one of my, I guess, physicians or doctors when I was a kid. So thank you, Alan. I hope to see you soon. Jennifer Ryan, one of my oldest friends from high school. We bonded on baseball in the state back in the 90s. Jennifer, I believe, lives in Texas right now. Thank you, Jennifer. Robert O'Neill Klein, another person I met on Words with Friends. He actually has a podcast in Washington, D.C. about all things D.C. sports. I'll actually share that later with you guys so you can check him out. Thank you, Robert. Alex Kneprath, one of the great kids I got to meet working at Culver's. 100 times smarter than I could ever be. And I think I'm actually playing him in fantasy this weekend too. And that one I think I'm gonna win. I need to win, so I need to do that. So Alex, next time you're in Grafton, let's grab some lunch. We're about halfway through, guys. I think I'm all cried out. Neil, we'll just say Neil P. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but Neil, I actually read a book that Neil wrote about just, I guess, choosing to be happy, and reached out to him, said your book was great, and he told him I was a baseball fan. He joined the group right away. Thank you, Neil. Brian Wright, great author. Bought a book from him about 6 months ago about the Mets. Thank you, Brian, for joining. Jeremy Dixon, thank you. Michael Warachek. Oliver Hartung, I guess a friend of Lance's, so thank you, Oliver. Michael Grainer was brought in by Mark Marinello. Gary Burkhardt, I believe, found me on Twitter, so thank you, Gary. Dennis Donovan, thank you. J.R. Donalo was also brought in by Mark. Thank you, J.R. John Veruso, thank you for your membership. Larry Hauser, thank you. Nate Stratton, I believe, I think we're friends on TikTok, and I believe Nate's a big Mets fan. So thank you, Nate. Also thank you to Scott Mason, Lee Tim St. Clair, Joshua Kaiser was brought in by Greg. JD Schloss, one of our most engaging members, big Reds fan. I'm sorry they couldn't do it in the championship, but thank you to JD. Always had great things to say. Was very nice to me. Thank you. Kyle McInturf, Bruce Baskin, Papa Bear. I'm not sure if that's your Christian name, if that's your baptismal name, but thank you, Papa Bear. Robert Kula, Al Eccles, Mike Franken was an early member, Blue Jays fan. Sam Nasser, Colin Radcliffe, Bill Hunter, thank you guys. Kevin Clough, Jared McCabe, Stephen Bailey, Nellie Hill, thank you, Nellie. Nellie was a very early member as well. And finally, Delaney Bry, who interviewed me back in April. That was such a big thrill to be featured for something that is just as silly as what I'm doing here, but that interview helped me grow this a little bit. And can't say enough about that. So thank you guys. I hope I got everyone, and I'm sorry that I'm such a wuss. But I'm making, I guess this was going to be a surprise, but so I'm making these custom baseball cards, and the last card is going to feature all of you. So I'm going to try to get all members on one card, tiny pictures, but a little bit of a collage to thank you guys. In the next couple days, I'll be uploading pages of cards, 100 pages of 12. Probably do just one a day or whatever for the off season. And then we'll figure out if we can get to a season 2. I sure hope so. Greg is telling me to stop. I don't know why, but I guess I will. I mean, I've gotten to say everything I wanted to say. I am getting hungry, so I'm going to eat food and wash it down with beverage. And I guess there is World Series baseball. What about, did anyone, I mean, obviously people saw it. What did you think of last night? John Sun, not a member, but I thank John Sun for years of memories. The finish to last night's game was unique in that it was the first time, I'm not saying it was the greatest baseball game I've ever seen. And I really don't care who wins, Rays or Dodgers. I've been kind of rooting for the Rays. But that finish, I can't think of a baseball game where a team is down 1. Within 5 seconds, you have the tying run come in and what looks like maybe the winning run coming in, and then you realize, oh, the inning's over, he's going to be out at the plate, and oh, the ball gets away and he scored. That happened in like 3 seconds, and I lost it. I found myself crying, and I watched it 6 times last night, that last at bat, and I cried each time. There were Rays on the field, like on the diamond, as he was crossing home plate. I mean, if that happened in the NBA or the NFL, that'd be a penalty. I mean, it was just amazing. And I didn't watch a single second of Game 2 or 3, and I didn't even really watch Game 4 last night. I was going back and forth between SNL and writing and stuff like that. But what an amazing finish. I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to watch Sunday Night Football because of fantasy implications. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you. Sorry that I got a little emotional. And in the next couple days, we'll kind of let you know what the off season looks like. I still want to do trivia. I still want to give away stuff. And hope to see you all guys very soon. Thank you. I love you.